We're going to look at Deep Under the Sky. Here's the storyline.
The dark side of Venus glows with an ashen light.
Alright.
The faint glow of Venus is one of the oldest mysteries in astronomy. The first observers thought it might be giant fires burning away verdant jungles or people celebrating the ascendance of a new ruler.
So here we are on Venus, I suppose. There's these neon glowing lights feeding through what appears to be some kind of plants. So I'm in this deep dark jungle, and there's a bunch of beings that kind of look like Metroids from the game Metroid, except they have slightly different tentacles. They appear to be like a giant squid, or really they look like a Metroid with like squid-like tentacles. So the game uses one button to play as our character right here, Jellyfish Metroid Man, and the space bar is what makes us do everything in this game. So we hop off the screen and begin the game. So first let's listen to the sound in this game. There's kind of ambient sound, also a little like more grungy industrial texture to it. It's got these deep dark tones. Sometimes there's like a hi-hat and that electronic. It's like an electronic kind of ambient. A little different than some of the other games we've been looking at lately, like Borealis and Hexels. It's a little grittier, the ambient music in this game. And the sound effects aren't anything spectacular. They're your typical like 16-bit game sound effects. Little explosions, sounds when you hit the stars that like ting and whistle. Nothing great there. So now let's take a look at the gameplay. If you were watching the screen before, you would shoot a jellyfish out, and your goal is to infect these spores with your own spores. So at first we just shot the jellyfish and exploded, but in this iteration you have two moves now. So the first tap will launch you, the second is like a squid-like jet propulsion for you, and then the third tap helps you explode the spores over the other spores so that you can take over. So as you progress through the game, you learn new things. Like here, there's a bounce. So you can bounce off and launch into other things. This one gives you a directional launch, so you shoot all the way up to hit spores. So eventually you have the squid thing, the directional launch, and as you progress through the chapters, you develop different abilities. And after each chapter, you get this peculiar cutscene where you hop across the screen and try not to get blown away by a goofy-ass wind. So here we are with yet another ability, and this new ability turns us into a ball where we can roll around, much like the ball in Metroid that Samus Aran turns into. So now you have the ball, and you finally have 3 different moves. And then you get to another level and you learn grapple. So that's another move where you attach and swing around. And then on the last set of levels, you have to smash through the orange thing and then go through the walls. So overall, there's 20 different levels on each different world. So there's 80 levels in all. You saw them through the different styles of gameplay that I was talking about. There's the green level, the blue level, and the orange and the pink level. After you beat all of those levels, all 80 of them, you come to this cutscene for the end of the game. And I haven't beaten the game with perfection yet, but there might be a different cutscene after you beat the game perfectly. So it keeps track of your time, how many times you shoot in order to score, and if you can get the very difficult to hit stars, then that also is another challenge in the game. So it took me 3 hours to beat this game, but there's loads of replay value to improve your time, the number of times you shoot, and getting the stars. Essentially, the game's like Angry Birds, I hate to say it, but really you're just shooting something at a target in the best way possible. So if you liked Angry Birds, but you also love Metroid and cool ambient creepy plants, then definitely play this game. It's only a couple bucks.